Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Cityline, and I'm so excited to welcome back to the program today Martha Davis, who's the Executive Director of the Toy Rescue Mission. Martha, it's good to be with you again on the program, and welcome.
Thank you, Chris. It's good to be back.
Now, the Toy Rescue Mission is a fantastic organization, but why do you, who obviously handles toys, get involved with back to school?
Listen, these parents can barely afford a toy. You think they can afford a $30 backpack or the necessities that go in these backpacks? So many of the schools have called and asked if we have Crayola brand crayons or Crayola brand markers. They don't use the other ones because they're cheaper and they're gummy and they gum up the pencil sharpeners. And so the parents are challenged with trying to find money to buy these items. And if you're going to really make a child successful, toys is a great thing for their morale, but they need school supplies for the long run.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it feels like the school year ends and immediately you're seeing school supply needs already. They already have a list for next fall.
That's right.
Coming up for it. Now, how long have you been doing this prep for school?
Well, the prep for this year starts probably in about January. And, we get the school list from the schools because it takes a lot of stuff to get, we did 4,000 backpacks last year.
Wow.
And, to fill 4,000 backpacks with the pencil sharpeners and the rulers and all the things, you have to gather all those supplies. And so it takes time. We have to put the list out, solicit donations from individuals, and, it goes from there. But, Toy Rescue Mission has been around for 30 years. And so we've been doing the back to school program for at least the last 15.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing and wonderful.
Thank you.
With that. Who is your target audience? When you're reaching out to these different areas of the community, what is your target audience?
Well, we want to reach the children that are in kindergarten to middle school. And this is when the learning really sets in. By the time a child gets in high school, they're set in their ways. They pretty much, they're going to fail or succeed. But these younger kids, if you give them the tools they need to survive when they're younger, they have a much better chance of succeeding later in life. And so we want to make sure these kids are prepared so that when they go into class, they can come out and, be like everybody else.
So you're kind of setting them up for high school and beyond, which is why you probably don't focus on that as much.
Right.
Wonderful.
We want them to be prepared so that when they get in there and get these tough homework assignments, they're ready to do them.
Wonderful. Now, you mentioned already that you have to solicit donations, you have partners in the community. Tell us a little bit about those partners that you have, those people who are helping you fill these backpacks for the students.
My most amazing partner is the Tacoma Police Department. I work with Bervin Smith, who is a community engagement manager for the city of Tacoma, and he is a great friend of mine. And we partner with Titus Will Ford, Richard Miller Sales, he's a real estate company. My brother donated $1,000. Different individuals. We have grocery stores, Walmart, Target, and people that help us to put these supplies together. And then we have individuals like yourself that just want to help. You want to see a child succeed, you donate $10, $20, whatever you donate.
Wow. Now, where is this located? When does it happen? Where is it located? How does that all come together?
We're at the Eastside Community Center on 56 and Portland Avenue. It's going to be on August the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And children must be present. We don't mind helping families, but we want to make sure that we help the people that are there in front of us. And sometimes we have families that will say, well, my kid's at home, my kid couldn't come. I'm sorry, I really would like to help that child, but I want the child right there so I can see and make sure that I give the child what that child needs.
Having their input in it is probably quite important.
Right, it is.
Seeing that go into their hands, that they're getting this. Now, with the program, obviously donations help out, you have your partners and thing, but how can we help? What are other ways that people can help? Do you need help stuffing bags? Do you need help at the event?
Absolutely.
What's the bat signal for?
We need people to man tables. I need somebody, like we'll have, for instance, at one of our tables, we'll have earbuds, pens, pencils, erasers, binders, and so on. And they'll be taped to the front of the table. There'll be people behind the table. When the child comes by and says, I need one of those, one of those, one of those, they can stuff them in those bags. We also need people in our coat room. We'll be handing out coats and shoes again this year. And we need people in our meal room. We'll be having a meal for the children available. They can take food home. So there's different stations that people can work at to hand out different items, for the backpacks.
And I'm going to ask you a question on that one real quick, because in my mind, I was thinking I've worked on some bags before through other organizations where we just stuff everything in the bag and hand out. This is actually where the students say, I need this, this, and this, where they're not necessarily, maybe they don't need that pack of 12 pencils, but they'd rather have that pack of crayons. So it's honestly where it's almost like a smorgasbord where they say this, this, and this.
Right, they can select what they
great.
need. The one thing that people forget about is like our high school kids especially, we need earbuds and we need thumb drives and we need protractors and things. Elementary school kids don't need those. So I put that in the backpack for an elementary school kid.
Yep.
So we'll put them on the table, and when the child comes by, if that's appropriate for their age level, then they can select that item and then that'll be placed in their backpack.
And what a great way to help reduce waste, but also make sure that things are getting spread out to everybody who truly needs it.
Right.
How can people volunteer? How do they get a hold of you and say, Martha, I want to help?
That's easy. They can either give us a phone call at our 253-460-6711 number. They can go to our website. They can contact Bervin Smith, Tacoma Police Department. They can send us an email, and our email address is listed on the screen, I believe, as well. So there are a lot of ways they can, and they can just give us a call and say, hey, I want to help.
That's fantastic. Now, donations always are good.
Exactly.
And they're tax deductible?
They are. We are a 501c3. I do have a tax exempt number. I'm happy to write tax statements for individuals who donate. Whether you want to donate cash or goods, we take either. We're focusing really on the high school kids this year. And I think if you notice on some of the pictures that we sent in this morning that, we're doing things like haircuts. And so we need people to, donate things that the barbers could use. We need, all kinds of items that we can donate.
This is the full package of making sure that our students are the best prepared that they can be.
We want these kids to look great and feel great about going back to school.
Now, in our final few moments today, we're talking about the Back to School initiative. What other programs do you offer throughout the year?
Oh, we do birthdays, we Easter baskets, we do Halloween costumes, and of course there's Christmas. We serve about 6,000 children every Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember the Easter baskets last time we were on together, because I think you were wearing some flashing bunny ears.
I was. I had some bunny ears and some cute little bunny glasses. We did about 2,500 Easter baskets this past year. Yeah.
Now, is there anybody you'd like to thank in the community?
I want to thank the whole community for supporting Toy Rescue Mission. We couldn't do this without you. There are so many individuals that if I start to name names, I will forget somebody. But more importantly, I want to thank my volunteers. Toy Rescue Mission is a 100% volunteer organization. And we have one volunteer who is in her 90s that drives from Gig Harbor twice a week to come to Toy Rescue Mission to help make sure that other people get what they need. We have another volunteer from Covington. We have one from Eatonville. So we have volunteers from all over the area that come, and these are coming free of their own free will.
Wow. You are pulling in the entire community to help support everything. So Martha, thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you for getting our students ready for school, coming up fast in the fall.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to be back in just a moment with Dr. Kimberly Keith and Eddie from the Hilltop Artists, and we'll fill you in on what's happening there.